No fears, no chains.
Invites you to live a life of emotional abundance.
Written by Vanessa Pisuto. Narrated by Belinda Sainsbury.
Pleasant good morning, dear friends. Today, September 28th, our devotion is entitled Cages and Prisons. Our scripture reading is taken from Romans chapter 8 and verse 28. And we know that God causes everything to work together for good of those who love God and are called according to His purpose for them. Several years ago, my twin sister and I found a baby bird on our house terrace. The nest had blown over in a storm, and the poor little sparrow was drenched and scared. To help it, we borrowed a cage from one of our neighbors and fed it until it grew enough to be able to fly. Then we set it free. Today, as I talked with my sister on the phone, she remembered that story and told me. From the bird's point of view, the cage must have felt like a prison. Although we had good intentions, we were keeping it alive until its wings developed. It had no way of knowing that. From its point of view, being fed with a syringe and living inside a cage must have felt worse than falling from its nest and losing its mother. Sometimes, when a period of trial or difficulty is prolonged, we feel like that sparrow, trapped. From our cage, we can see the clouds in the sky and also smell the flowers. However, no matter how hard we try, we cannot get out. Why doesn't God open the door and free us from that situation? I imagine Joseph wondered that many times. His brothers sold him as a slave and pushed him out of the family nest. Then, Potiphar's wife sent him to jail. How could Joseph know that in that very place, in jail, he was developing the skills he would need to govern Egypt? God allowed those 2 years behind bars so that his character would develop, so that his wings would grow. In Patriarchs and Prophets, we read, God was preparing him in the school of affliction for greater usefulness. In the prison, witnessing the result of oppression and tyranny and the effects of crime, he learned lessons of justice, sympathy, and mercy that prepared him to exercise power with wisdom and compassion. I do not know what hardship you are facing today, but I invite you to trust that God is using everything that happens to you to shape your character. At the right time, the door of your prison will open, and God will allow you to use everything you have learned to bless others. Lord, please help me to understand that your purposes transcend my current circumstances. I want to be faithful today with what I have to better serve you in the future. And we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to His purposes for them. Romans chapter 8 and verse 28.